actually one who is practicing masturbation. You have a darkened mind. You have dark impurities, dark thoughts. And also it's a sign that one is not disciplined. He can't control passions. He can't control his appetites. So he's a danger to himself and a danger to community, to society also. He can also become also a rapist. There are also names that are given to sexual styles, doggy style. We're dogs now. We are posing to that. Are we dogs now? So when humans start to behave like dogs, I think there's perversion. If you're not married, keep yourself clean. Tell that boy to remove his hands from your body. Tell him I was bought by his blood. When a man calls me his rape, when I'm a man, definitely now we hit that bastard. It's foolishness.
Yeah.
You see, sexual perversion, sexual immorality, sodomists.
Is that truly about the resurrection of Christ or the resurrection of Jesus?
The word Ishtar has been borrowed from the word Ishtar. Ishtar she was a goddess in this Roman and Greek mythology. He was worshipped, like we see the theology of Diana, Princess Diana, the god of fertility. That's why up to this day we have what we call honeymoon. John chapter 5, Jesus said the dead are in their graves. They wait for resurrection. So no one else is in heaven yet. Everyone is in. Those who have died are in their graves. They are waiting for resurrection morning when Jesus comes. And we know there's a promise of the resurrection of the dead. This is where our hope is anchored. So if I die today with cancer, I know I will resurrect. So I fear no evil, I fear no death, because I know my Redeemer liveth.
Paul teaches and he say, imitate me as I imitate Christ.
Yeah, sure.
Which then, therefore, it automatically means that Christ came and lived here. And as he lived, he went through all the temptations that us as human beings will go through at this point. So now, maybe I don't want to make it so obvious, hence I will make it a question. Was Jesus tempted also sexually, just like everyone maybe in our time?
You are worried with the sexual part.
Yes,
I understand. Yes, he was.
Yes.
We have an account where Jesus met this beautiful harlot.
All right.
Mary Magdalene.
All right.
I think about 3 times the Bible mentions that Jesus met Mary. She actually swept Jesus' feet with her own tears, and she kissed Jesus' feet.
Yes.
Now, Paul in the book of Hebrews, he then alludes to that. He said Jesus was tempted at all points, yet without sin. Tempted at all points. All means all. So definitely,
including everything.
Yeah, everything. So
even
if
sexual.
you're worried,
yes,
there was no ego for adultery.
Yeah,
that manifested in Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus tempted at all points. So I know men are worried with these things. They say it's difficult.
Yeah,
they Jesus, there's victory also. So that's why we need to accept Jesus. That's why we need to take his life, because there's victory in his life. So yeah, definitely.
All right, nice. Because I wanted to clear, many people think it's impossible, but if Jesus made it possible, then surely even us. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. This is Rhythm and Charts, and today we're having a very powerful guest. Maybe to someone who doesn't know, who would like to know you better, how best can you explain yourself to them out there?
It's always difficult to explain yourself to people.
Yeah.
Because also people have different perception about a person. But of course, I'm Evangelist Marufu. I'm a preacher of the gospel. I'm just found all over. That's why I'm here today also on your podcast.
Yeah. Welcome to South Africa.
We are rightly in the heart of Johannesburg.
Yes.
Kempton Park.
Yes.
Near the airport, the famous OR
Tambo. Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm humble also.
Yeah.
A platform to come and meet with the viewers and you yourself. But I'm a preacher of the gospel. I believe in the Bible.
Yeah.
In the Bible alone.
Yeah.
Sola
the Bible
Scriptura.
alone.
Yeah. I'm an Adventist also.
Yeah.
So you can find me also on social media. We have good platforms like Evangelist Marufu, Bible Truth Podcast, Darema Chinda.
Oh.
That's where we use the famous Wakamuri chant.
All right.
So,
All right.
yeah, probably that's how one can try to
identify.
to identify me out.
All right. The reason I started off by that question is because I want us to discuss for the youth and everyone out there about the sexuality that goes around, because many people sin sexually. Maybe some do it without knowing. But before we get into the space that I'm in, to say the youth, I want us to start off with a question that I believe started the podcast, because there was a question as we were sitting to say, when people are married, when they do have sex, it's legal, it's allowed, and there's no sin in that point. But then we ask ourselves to say, is there any sexual style that can happen in people that are married that we can say it's abomination or it's wrong in a way?
Of course.
Yeah.
If we start behaving like animals.
Oh, yeah.
I think there are also, I don't know, there are also names that are given to
Yeah.
sexual styles, doggy style.
Yeah.
Dogs now. We are posing to that. Are we dogs now? So when humans start to behave like dogs, I think there's perversion in that.
Okay.
So actually, sex is it's a blessing that was given to men by God for procreation, even for pleasure, of course.
Yeah.
Normally, it's not for entertainment.
Yes.
It's not for entertainment. But you see, if you have a perverted mind, an idle mind becomes also the devil's workshop.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, you can practice sexual immorality and sexual perversions if your mind is darkened by the evil one. Yeah, there can be sin even if you're married. Yeah.
The sexual purity. How best can you explain to people out there what is sexual purity, and also maybe why is it so important for the youth that are not yet involved or are not yet married? Why is it important that they should keep their sexual purity, and also explain what is sexual purity?
Yeah, sexual purity, we talk of sexual purity because these things were introduced by God, who is righteous, who is pure. So we're expected also to preach sexual purity because our God is pure. And when we are saying sexual purity, we are saying to those who are not yet married, no sex before marriage. That's important. Fornication, you must abstain from fornication. Because in that there is sin. Your body is the temple of the Lord.
Yes.
And if you sin against your own body, God is going to make sure he sin against you. God will destroy every temple that has been defiled. So you see, there should be sexual purity. If you're not married, keep yourself clean. Tell that boy to remove his hands
From your body.
from your body.
Eesh.
Tell him I was bought by his blood. That's a powerful message to also bring to these young people. I think there's also a blessing if you keep yourself, you've protected yourself. There are a lot of diseases. But there's a divine appointment also between sin and diseases.
Okay.
If you sin against your body, diseases will attack you. It's a divine appointment. So if you want to protect yourself from cankeroid, sick, gonorrhea, these are terrible diseases. Abstain from sexual impurities. Be sexually clean, even if you are married. Make sure it's one man, one woman, one man. That's First Corinthians chapter 7 from verse 1. One man, one woman, one man. And when we move along those lines, I think there is now sexual purity.
You say that you must abstain.
Yeah,
In the youth that we are living in now, but I believe it's not just now, it has been since the beginning, possibly, to say that one can say to abstain from these sexual immoralities of sleeping around. They will now try to have pleasures on their own, which is masturbation. Now maybe to teach, is masturbation a sin?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because when you are performing under the grounds of masturbation, your mind must be working. So actually one who is practicing masturbation, you have a darkened mind, you have dark impurities, you have dark thoughts, and also it's a sign that one is not disciplined. He can't control passions, he can't control his appetites, so he's a danger to himself and a danger to community, to society also. He can also become also a rapist, a predator. So, we need to understand that masturbation is also a dangerous ground to venture into. It's addictive. You can't then also be able to control yourself, because these things also will follow you, and I think you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you venture into these things. So God also try to say abstain to all these things. Your body is the temple of the Lord. We emphasize on that. Make sure you're clean. Make sure there's no dirt in you.
One could argue and say, I have one girlfriend or I have one boyfriend, I intend to marry them. The Bible does say sex before marriage is a sin. But what then in the case where one is saying, I really love this person, or rather, let's bring it much closer to people who are now engaged, yet not yet married, but engaged. Surely there's a promise of marriage. At that point, should they then practice?
No.
Yeah.
I hear you. I also appreciate your troubles in the process, but let me tell you, true love is not a feeling. True love is a principle.
Yeah.
So if you really love someone, you must stand with the principle. One who does not want to stand with the principle becomes also a liar. The truth is not in him. So if you really love this woman, why not just marry her and enjoy? Every sex that is done outside marriage, you will not find joy. Guilt conscience, even after the act, will follow you. You always feel that I've sinned against God. Because there's a principle which says these things must be only enjoyed in the marriage setup, inside the home. You are enjoying whilst not being worried who's watching. This is your wife. So I believe, even if you say, I have someone I want to marry, I've committed, why just be patient? Wait. The time will come, you enjoy. I think that's great and beautiful to her.
Lust, how best can you explain lust to the people? Because in my divination, lust is seeing something or seeing someone, and then in your mind you start to I don't know if lust only revolves under sexuality or seeing someone.
Of course,
Yeah.
it should fall under sexuality also. Lust and appreciating, these are two different words. Say, my brother, I think this is a nice shirt. This is a nice t-shirt. I think this is a nice podcast mic. I'm just appreciating. But if I say, brother, this is a nice podcast, in my mind is saying, give it to me.
Hey, that's where the problem starts.
Say, my lady, you look beautiful today. You're dressed well.
Give it to me.
Yeah, and you say, give it to me. You say, give it to me. That's it. I believe now we have a problem now.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Why should I give it to you? Who are you? Are you married to me?
So how can one control lust, if ever is possible? Especially, but nowadays even for women it's very, very much possible, because it seems as if people say that men are so lustful, but it also happens even to the other side. How can one avoid or refrain from lusting other people?
No, you can't control lust by your own power.
Yes.
That's not possible. As human beings, we are promised. We know. Even the Apostle Paul struggled with these things. He said in the book of Romans, what I do is not what I want. The things I hate to do are the things that I do. You see, so you can try, brother, but you can't. You only need Jesus. Jesus is the only one demon tamer. Jesus is the only one who can fight sin. So when you have the life of Jesus, it's not I that I live, but Jesus in me. Apostle Paul allude to that also. So it's when you have Jesus in you, then you are able to defeat lust, you're able to defeat adultery, you're able to defeat whatever sin by its name. Jesus is the only victor, and he can help you to become victorious.
There's a question around the marriage between same sex. So I believe it's a very dangerous territory, especially in our world now, because if you say something now, it's like, hey, what do you think? Who do you think you are? But now I've seen also, maybe in the context of church, I've seen also in our church that there are some things that are accepted. But now, is marriage between same gender an acceptable thing according to the Bible, not according to the standard of the world, but the Bible?
That's a very important question, my brother. And we need to make sure the truth reaches out to many. There's what you call principle of first mention. And Jesus also used that principle on Matthew 19 when he was asked about the question of marriage.
Yeah.
He said, have you not read that in the beginning When he created a man
And a woman.
and a woman,
Yeah.
a male and a female. In the beginning, Jesus said, if you want to understand the issue of marriage, read what happened in the beginning. And he's referring to Genesis chapter 2, Genesis chapter 1, a perfect world, where we see God creating Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Hey. Yeah.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Diva.
Yay.
It's Adam and Eve. In the beginning, Jesus said, God did what happened in the beginning. He created man and a woman, man and a male and a female. So marriage, when it was introduced by God to us, there was a male, there was a female. There was a man, there was a woman. And when Adam saw, he said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh.
Yeah.
I will call him woman, which means he was brought out from man, my rib. How can a man cause me his rib when I'm a man? Definitely now he hit that bastard. It's foolishness.
Yeah.
You see, sexual perversions, sexual immorality, sodomists have also pushed these ideas. And you see what? This is going to cause this world to be destroyed by God. Because if God is not going to destroy this world now, he should apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. Because when it happened in Sodom and Gomorrah,
made sure.
we rest assured that fire with brimstone from heaven followed the city. So I think we need to understand these dynamics. We need also to appreciate God's word. The Bible and the Bible alone, definitely we are not going to have problems.
All right, we are approaching Easter right now, and as Adventists, we do not celebrate Easter. Or rather, I don't think if you do celebrate and you're an Adventist, maybe it's because you find that the world is doing it. Then why not do it? But now, what is Easter, or the origin of Easter, and why the Adventists don't celebrate Easter?
No, we don't celebrate Easter, though we recognize that Jesus died and resurrected. You see, we definitely preach that word. Jesus died, Jesus resurrected. But not on Easter, Friday, not on Easter, Saturday, Easter Sunday, or Easter Monday, whatever this foolishness is. But I want to tell you, we don't get involved into these modern Easters. Because even when you look, the idea that is being pushed, it's a pagan idea. We have Easter egg. We have Easter rabbit.
Yeah, where is that coming from?
What does it have to do with the death and resurrection of Jesus? Do we need eggs for us to know that Jesus died and resurrected? Do we need rabbits for us to accept that Jesus died and resurrected? No. So there's foolishness, and we see the origin of Easter came because of these Roman mythologies, the issues, the stories of taboos, stories of Easter, way back to Tower of Babel. We see all these things, these practices. They've moved into generations, and they've been accepted and sanitized and baptized as holy things. And the church is being forced to accept all these foolishness, and we're in trouble now. And the rest of the world is entangled to these pagan ideas and pagan theologies. So let's go back to the Bible. Let's stick to things that are important.
So I feel like though you have answered the question before I even asked, to say is Easter truly about the resurrection of Christ, or the resurrection of Jesus? Because that's what they push the narrative to the Christian, to say, no, we are celebrating the death and the resurrection. But truly, is it really about the resurrection?
The fact that the dates also changes.
It
tells you there's
So
there are a lot of
Jesus,
question marks there.
it didn't
So
die
this year
on
he
March.
died in April, next year he died in and all this stuff. And as I have said, the word Ishtar has been borrowed from the word Ishtar. Ishtar she was a goddess in this Roman and Greek mythology. He was worshipped, like we see the theology of Diana, Princess Diana, the god of fertility. That's why up to this day we have what we call honeymoon.
Okay.
After you
Marry.
you do your wedding at night, you had honeymoon. Honeymoon. Moon representing the moon itself.
Yeah.
Honey, the moon with honey. And they believe that when you go to honeymoon, the gods will make sure that there's pleasure in sex, and they'll give and produce a child for you. So I think there's these things are also amongst us, and we are taking them. Unfortunately, as the Christian community, we've accepted foolishness, and we're in trouble now.
Can one lose heaven in participating in the practices such as Easter? There are so many things that we practice as Christian in the name of
When
Jesus.
it comes to issues of heaven, God will judge.
Only God.
Paul calls him a righteous judge. So God will judge to all these things, and the man is going to judge according to the light that he has received. So if you had received the greater light, more is also demanded from you. If you also received lesser light, more so less is also demanded according to the light that you've received. So if you didn't know that Easter is a pagan practice, but today you know, and if you continue practicing it, then you're in trouble.
Yes.
Rather, you were supposed not to know. But because now you know,
then surely you will be judged.
You are in trouble. What will you answer? What will you say? What answer will you give after all is said and done?
All right, one can argue and say, I know the origin of the Easter, and I know now it's a pagan thing. But now, what if one argues and say, in as much as it's a pagan thing, I'm practicing it outside of the pagan upbringing and everything, but in a context of saying I'm just celebrating the death.
You can't worship God and mammon. You can mix darkness and light, sugar and salt, eggs and okra. You can't. What
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So
you
we
will vomit.
Need to make sure that we are tasty. We need to make sure we are the salt of the world. So if you are the salt of the world, make sure that you make sure the salt is worked and there's taste. You bring taste. That's our message. That's what we are supposed to do.
All right. In conclusion, the dead. There's confusion also in the dead people. Where are the dead? And also maybe who are the dead?
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 5 tells us that the dead knows nothing. John chapter 5, Jesus said the dead are in their graves. They wait for resurrection. So no one else is in heaven yet. Everyone is those who have died are in their graves. They are waiting for resurrection morning when Jesus comes. And we know there's a promise of the resurrection of the dead. This is where our hope is anchored. So if I die today with cancer, I know I will resurrect. So I fear no evil, I fear no death, because I know my Redeemer liveth. So if you are dead, you are done, you're waiting for resurrection. If you're still alive, you are preparing for his coming. So this is what we are doing. I know time is running out. But these subjects must be also being looked into in a depth manner. There are a lot of heresies, there are a lot of things that comes when it comes to issues of death. But I know, in summary, probably that's what it's all about.
Now, thanks. Maybe possibly one day we'll get more time to discuss deeper in the thing.
It's always a joy to come and see you.
And
keep on, moving the gospel plow, the gospel wheel. We'll support you. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure to meet up with you.
Thanks for coming. Also, do watch, like, and subscribe. From us, Rhythm and Chaz, we are out. Kezo.